Hello. So glad to see
Hello.
you again. And glad you can make it.
Hi.
You super women. So
Yes.
how has your been? Munira, what was your week like?
My week was extremely hectic, but it was very satisfying because I was happy with sometimes hectic work also, as long as I enjoy it, which I did. So yeah.
Wow, glad to hear. And what about you, Vinusha?
Yeah,
How was
it
your
was,
week?
it seemed here like it's busy always, but then it went good. And now we have a coach. I'm looking forward to make it even more better.
Good, good. So let's start with today's session. Now, you know that we believe that happiness does not come from things outside. It's something that we have with congruence within ourselves. We discover that happiness. So today we're going to do something that you will make you discover who you are. It's called who you are, and it's going to be a test. Like I'll give you a tool, and in that you'll find two statements for each question. Read the statements and see which one you identify with most. And don't take too much time over it. Just think, which is the one that you feel relates with you the most. Now, when you have finished all the questions, then you will hit the submit button. And what will happen? A report will be generated, and that will bring out what type of personality you are. So with this, you get to discover what are your personality traits, and that will, of course, help you to use this knowledge to make your life, take you to a better place in your life. So let's start. I'm going to send you the tool, and you're going to start. So here you go.
Sure.
So have you been able to answer the questions?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. So how did it
Yes.
feel? Was it difficult?
It was time consuming, but it made us think a lot. It was good. I mean, overall experience was, even though it was a bit uh, time consuming, it was rewarding as well
So
when
it
we
has
read the report.
come out with the result. Have you got your reports? Munira, have you had a
Yes.
chance
Yes.
to see what is your
Yes. Yes.
personality type? What
My personality type was a helper. Is a helper. Rather. I am a helper.
So did you identify with your traits? Did you think that this is me?
Yes, in parts of it, yes, it is me. I was like, yes, that's me, that's me. But then there were parts which were like, I was like, really, is that me? I think the report is quite long and very extensive.
Yes.
So I guess I could relate to parts, and then there were parts that I couldn't relate
Okay, and then there's also something called the good state and an average state. So you have to really take your time and go through the report, and you will find, in the various states that you identify with things in a particular state, and maybe in another state you will have not so many. So you will have, depending on what state you're in, you will be able to identify more of those qualities. So what about Vinusha? What is your personality?
Yeah, my result was I'm an investigator. I read through the report fully, and I was very surprised to know that when I'm in my average state or in my below average state, I tend to isolate. I thought I generally I know I prefer to do a lot of things on myself. I mean by myself. I thought that is the way uh, I used to think that that is a way for me to be more focused and more productive. But now I read the report, it was like an eye opener that because of my subconscious limiting beliefs, that people will evade. I mean, if I give my time to people, they will consume all my energy because of that subconscious belief and what is going on inside. This is in response to it, but which I was defending, like. it is a way to be more productive. And it was like really an eye opener. And it was like a message told to me that you have to be with people, and being with people, you can contribute more to them, and you can learn more from them. And it was like a great discovery for me. I mean,
So it
it
was,
was
would you
something
call
which,
this a breakthrough? Would you call this a breakthrough for you?
yeah, definitely.
Yes, having
Definitely it was
discovered about yourself. Yes.
yeah, this perspective is something which is totally distinct from how I saw myself. I know that I work by myself, but I was thinking it was focused and it's more productivity related. But now I realize that it's because of my subconscious limiting beliefs that I'm missing out on a lot of things, and I'm definitely working on it. And I'm very happy that I took this test, and as well as I have taken this coaching.
That's great. That's led to a breakthrough for you. And what about
Definitely.
Monira? Can you tell me about when you read through, your report? Did you come upon anything? Was it an eye opener, or something you found out about yourself which you never realized before?
I think the one thing that struck me as amazing about this personality test in itself is how predictable I am. Like I could actually get stereotyped. Like wow, so there are like many people like me. So what I thought, things that I'm sensitive about or that tick me off, or certain states where I know I also react like that, I tend to think like that, right? I thought that was unique to me, but no, I mean, looks like a lot of people who have my kind of personality would also process it that way. And for me, that was a great realization that, I am unique, yes, but in many ways, that's how. And yes, so to say that, I found it a little, what shall I say? I will not call it
Uncanny.
shameful, not
Embarrassing.
shameful, but a little embarrassing. Yes, uncanny
Uncanny.
to know to know that being a helper and in a certain state, which I think is my below average and average state, mainly below average state, where I get very upset with people that I do things for them and then they don't value it, and and I feel, why am I even doing this for them? And that it just completely ticks me off to an extent that instead of going north, I start operating in the south. Not even like retreat or retrace or go easy. I just completely, I mean, which is why now I know why a lot of my friends and family call me, they actually call me bipolar, saying that, one day, which side of the bed she looks
What
me.
That
percentage of
relates.
time would you say, like if you give it a percentage when you're in this low state, what percentage
Today,
you're in the
today I
good state
good
and
state.
you're
So,
in the low state? So how
so
would you divide the percentage?
divide that, right? So I think I spend almost equal, but I would still say maybe 55 or 60% in the average state, and 30% in the below average state, and probably 10% like a annual bonus, like a once in a frequent visit to the good state. Like I know what that means, but I kind of forgotten about it. Hardly go there.
So what triggers you're going down? You're going down into the lower average state. What triggers it off?
I think two things, when I read the report, two things struck me again. One is the fact that I think somewhere I overextend myself when I don't need to, you know. That is a realization I took away. And then obviously when you overextend, then I do feel, I know I feel. And every time I have felt that way, if I go back and see what did I do, I did overextend myself. And the second thing is this constant, I can't shake that off me, that this constant need for, if I'm doing something, I want that person to in some way make me feel that, like it's like a barter.
Acknowledge it, or at least
Acknowledge it.
acknowledge that you're being
Yes.
such a,
Yes, it's like a little give and take. My this good my very good state talks a lot about giving unconditionally. It actually, when I read it, I feel repulsed. I'm like, what, really? Because I'm too much in a, like a give to get. I will give first, but that I can't forget the get part of it. So
So do you think this was a kind of a breakthrough? This, I mean, it's you,
totally.
but you haven't had it, put down in black and white before, right? So this is
Absolutely.
something great breakthrough, I think. So for both of you, I think your personality reports have really opened. It's been an eye opener, right? Okay,
Yes.
so we'll work on this again a little more next time. So great to see you. See you
We
again.
have not.
Thank you
Coach,
so much.
I would like to share in
Oh
which
yes,
state
please,
I would.
please, Vinusha,
Yeah.
share.
Like luckily in my report it's given that in my below average and destructive state I would have more of hallucinations, and then if I'm in my below destructive state I can have if I have vengeance I can go on a killing spree, or it was written that I can have uh, like poor hygiene. So luckily, I have not experienced the both states, but it was like it was. I mean, I was very. It's like a caution for me that it can happen as well. So I'm looking. Seeing if I'm going through it, or if any time I step into it in future, if at all it happens, it would be very helpful for me because I have known this right now. And regarding my state, most of the right now there is some recent times there have been some crises going on in my life, so 60% of the time I spend in my good state, in my average state, and 40% of the time I spent in the good state. So it 60% is in the average state. So before 1 year ago it used to be 60% in the good state and 40% all throughout my life, because I didn't have much of ups and downs. But in the recent last 1 or 2 years I have had some personal losses, and it's bit shaken my state. But right now I am in 60% in average state and 40% in good state. And uh, and it, I mean it both the good part uh, told me that what I can, the very good state, I've been there sometimes, but then it really shows me the potential of what I can be. Like it has been shown that I can discover things. So it was like a inspiration for me where I have to go. But like I also recognized where I am, and also it also gave me a picture of if at if at all I go into my destructive state, how to identify it and then immediately come back. So it was really eye opener, and thank you so much for the same.
Thank you, Vinusha, for sharing that, and that you have come to this realization that you have a very high state which you can reach. And also this cautionary thing that you have, that I must not go into that self-destructive stage, which is going to be very harmful. So that's all for today. We'll wind up and we'll continue next session. Okay.
Definitely.
All right.
Definitely.
Bye.
Thank
See
you.
you.
Bye,
Bye-bye.
coach.
Good
Bye.
night.
Bye.
Bye-bye.